What's going on, you guys? Hey, Keith Carnes here, bringing you another video today. This time it's a request video, wrestling related once again. It's been a while since I've had a requested video. The last time I did it was about Jeff Hardy pertaining to his possible return, and we have another request, this time by a new requester known as Gary C. Moody. So thank you very much, Gary, for this. I appreciate it. It gives me more content for the channel, so thank you very much. Gary wants to know, what is my thoughts on Shane Helms, formerly known as the Hurricane in the WWE? Could I see him going to TNA or going to WWE with Brian Kendrick, formerly known as the Brian Kendrick, and Paul London from Omega Championship Wrestling, I think it's called, not really sure. TNA? No, I don't see them going to TNA. I think that if Shane Helms, this is just pertaining to Shane, I think if you know, Helms wanted to go to TNA, he could have already did it. TNA seems to be really, you know, into hiring former WWE talents. So no, I don't think so. I don't think he has an interest in TNA, and that's why he's not there. As far as Brian Kendrick and Paul London, same thing. Kendrick and Paul London, tremendous athletes, very entertaining. I'm a huge fan of them. Really sad that they have yet to come back to WWE, especially Brian Kendrick, with the Brian Kendrick, which he actually gave me inspiration for my name, the Keith Carnes. That's right, that is actually where I got the idea to put the in front of my name. So when the Brian Kendrick was doing his whole gimmick, which was awesome, it was like a Kurt Cobain kind of spin-off spoof maybe, but it was really good, and he was so entertaining. And Paul London, just a tremendous athlete. But would I want to see them in a tag team? I know this was an ask, but this kind of comes up in question when pertaining to these two guys. No, I think that the Brian Kendrick was a great heel by himself. I think Paul London could succeed in the mid-card. They need to bring back the Cruiserweight Championship to the WWE, because these guys could be a part of that and be big-time Cruiserweight champions. And the Cruiserweight title at one time was a very respected belt. Shane Helms, big fan of him as well. I don't like the Hurricane gimmick. I think it's kind of stupid. The fact that it actually lasted and even went as far as it did, it really surprises me, but I'm not a fan of it. I just think it's kind of embarrassing, that character, because it's like, I'm a wrestling fan, and people, you know, a lot of people that don't like wrestling, don't understand wrestling, automatically stick their nose up at it and say, oh, it's for kids. And then when you show them a character like the Hurricane, yeah, that tends to kind of make your argument hard to get across to people. So I definitely did enjoy Shane Helms. I believe they booked him as Gregory Helms when he went through his whole unmasked heel thing in WWE, when he dumped Rosie from the Hurricane and Rosie tag team. I was a huge fan of that. He was a great Cruiserweight champion. Once again, back to the Cruiserweight title. We need to see that come back to WWE. And I'm not the only one that agrees. I would love to see them all back. But as far as what do I think, TNA, no. Like I said, I think any one of these guys could have easily got a TNA contract and been a huge success over there in the X division, but I don't think it's going to happen because they don't want to. They don't want it. I don't know what Omega Wrestling is. I believe, isn't that like Jeff Hardy's place? I could be completely wrong. I sound like a complete idiot right now, but I'm not sure. As far as WWE, I don't know. It's like, if you really look at the roster, other than a couple, you know, other than a couple exceptions, they're all pretty big roster members. It's kind of like how it was back in the day. It's just all the guys that are over 6'5" and weigh like 280 pounds. I mean, there's really no room right now, because of the lack of a Cruiserweight division, for these guys to really expand. So if I had to pick where I'd want them to go, I'd love to see Brian Kendrick come back to WWE and do the Brian Kendrick. I'd like to see Paul London come back to WWE and just have a face run. I'd like to see Gregory Helms come back as a major heel. And sorry, I'm kind of sweating. It is really hot in California. I gotta open my window, but I actually had to take the window down. I actually put a box fan in there. It's nice and cool in here, but I shut the window so it wouldn't disrupt the recording, and it is hot. It got up to like 95. Whew. It's hot weather, people. I know it's hotter other places, but it's hot for us. So anyway, back to what I was saying. No, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, obviously I don't know. I'm not an insider. I don't know anybody on the inside. Wish I did, but I don't. But I'd like to see him. I think it's very possible. I think the best possibility would probably be the Hurricane. Unfortunately, as the Hurricane, not as Gregory Helms, but as Hurricane, just bring him back for a little, mix it up, get maybe some rating boosts, and that's it. That's really it. But out of all of them, I'd like to see the Brian Kendrick back as the Brian Kendrick, not just Brian Kendrick, not as a jobber, not as not as just some face. I want to see him come back to the whole Kurt Cobain dancing down to the ring and shit with his crazy jacket. It'd be really cool to see him back. So that's my opinion. I hope it's what you wanted it to be, Gary. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you once again for the suggestion. Thank you for viewing, whoever you are, subscriber or not. And I will see you guys in the next. Peace.